Before the video starts, there's going to be spoilers for The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals and the TV show Community. So if you want to see those without spoilers, then watch it now.
Hey guy, my name is... I was about to say my name is Drew. My name's not Drew. If you're new to my channel, my name is Linny. And if you're coming back, my name is still Linny. It hasn't changed since the last time you came here. As always, this video is inspired by a Drew Gooden video.
Entirely inspired by one Curtis Connor tweet.
The layers.
Onions have layers.
Linny's videos
Have layers.
If you know me in real life, I am an actor. I act. I go to a school for theater. This is a passion of mine. This is something that I love to do. I just finished my Shakespeare project, actually. I will put a clip from that. I am no feed host. Lady. I literally saw Hamilton like twice. So I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about acting. So I saw this video one day. I think this was in a rehearsal. So I saw this video by Drew Gooden, one of my favorite creators, about acting. And, you know, I was like, I do that. So I decided I want to give my commentary on it. So consider this like my first commentary video. I've never done something like this before. I'm not, of course, completely qualified. I'm not like the acting man. I'm not Mariah, although I do study with her for voice lessons. So Mariah, if you're watching me, I'm not an expert. I'm a sophomore at school. I'm just saying, as someone who has a passion for theater, this would be something fun for me to talk about. So starting with the tweet itself, which I will put like right here. I'll read it.
I think it's kind of silly that we tend to view yelling loudly or crying on camera to be the epitome of a performance.
I think we view screaming, crying, yelling, all of these things as impressive acting because anger, fear, sadness. Those are hard emotions to feel, and they're hard emotions to display. And not everyone displays them in healthy ways. So seeing how a character would display their anger or just any emotion in general is really interesting. That's why a lot of compilations are a bunch of dudes screaming because they're at their limit. And as Drew said,
Maybe it's cathartic when you have some amount of pent-up frustration to see an actor go absolutely apeshit on a mirror. But
when you're watching a movie or a show or any sort of media and your disbelief is suspended, you kind of relate to the characters in a way. So it may feel cathartic to let those emotions out through that character. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it does. It made sense in my brain and on the script. So I don't know. Yeah, your boy has a script. Call me a regular Curtis Corner.
there's so many other types of acting that are just as important as the climactic rage outbursts that tend to fly under the radar. One of the biggest ones is just reacting.
Reacting. I'm so glad he brought this up because one of the first things that we're told in school, or at my school, one of the first things you're told in like an acting class or something, acting is reacting. So if you are delivering your lines and between them, you're just like, if you deliver your lines perfectly, like mwah, but you're just standing like this.
Honestly, if I saw that damn thing in my living room, I'd stomp on it until it was a small brown stain.
Reacting to what is happening as your character is almost more important than what's happening itself, because, you know, what is your character thinking? Are they like, oh, this is crazy? Oh, like, what if they're like, you know? And subtle reaction shots can literally make you either laugh or cry.
Like in The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, in this scene, Emma's facial expressions make it so eerie and unsettling. It's like, it's so good.
Oh my god! Oh, you made it! We made it!
Emma, I'm sorry.
And of course this is different because it's a stage production and you can't cut to other people. So you all have to bring your A game, especially with your faces and serving face and serving body, yada, yada, yada. I mean, look at John. John is killing it. Killing it. It's so eerie because of the contrasts, and it's just so beautiful. I love it. Go watch The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. It's so good, man. Because, you know, look at everyone. They're smiling, and there's Mariah. Hey, girl queen!
They're very important. Reacting is very important. It just gets you into it. And it is very helpful to your scene partner who is also trying to get into it, yeah. In terms of, like, theater acting, reactions can, like, push focus or pull focus.
In the credits bows scene from The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, Emma is pulling focus, and the contrast between her and the other characters is so frightening just because of her facial expression. Everyone else is smiling while she is distressed.
You know, that's something that could happen. Here, I'll give you an example.
Oh my god, I'm getting married.
Not with that skirt, you won't. Or,
Oh my god, I'm getting
not
married.
with that skirt, you won't.
The audio for this bit that I wanted to record is messed up, so I'm just gonna explain it to you over this picture of strawberry shortcake. When you're reacting, it shows like your character's arc without them talking, and it also like prompts their next line, I guess. You know how you have a thought before you talk? I don't know, maybe that's just, I don't have thoughts before I talk, but you know, blah. All right, back to the video.
Do you see the difference? Yeah. He talks about how hard it is to do a reaction shot where it's just him.
But for me, it is always so much harder to do a reaction shot than it is to give a line.
Yeah, Drew. It's hard to react to nothing. It's hard to react to something when there's nothing there. That's why it was so hard for me to act over Zoom. I had my first year of art school over Zoom. Also because I had crippling depression, but maybe that's just a me thing. When you're playing like a drunk guy, you're not gonna be like that. Because you're gonna be trying to not be perceived as drunk. You don't want anyone to know you're drunk. I mean, I wouldn't know what a drunk guy wants because underage drinking is really bad and I've never done it. But you try not to be perceived as drunk. That's a dramatic action, to hold back or to manipulate or gaslight or gatekeep or girl boss. And these are all things that you, the character, are trying to do. The emotion comes with it, you know?
There's so much more to physicality.
But physicality is also very important based on like the age you're trying to play.
The way your character walks, you know, that's a choice.
Or the type of character's personality.
And take the best character from Community, Abed, and look at his stance. He is standing like that because he's got the tism, but also, like, that's part of his characterization, and we even see that when Troy takes on his mannerisms in the body switching episode. Look!
An exercise that our teachers always make us do without fail is we walk around the room leading with different parts of our body, like our chin or our chest, you know, just any part of your body. Someone who leads with their chin is probably like pretty confident, or someone who leads with their forehead is kind of like shy. I don't know.
In this clip, my big homie Michael Cera is leading with his scalp.
Pretty cool exercise. But suffice to say, physicality, very important. Yeah. Blocking, man.
Fascinated by this actress's choice to always walk around with like T-Rex arms.
I mean, personally, I walk with T-Rex arms, so that like really hits home for me.
And then it hit me. Powerful people are always pointing at stuff.
Also, there's an episode of Glee where Blaine's brother comes and he like teaches the Glee class about acting, and he points at things because good actors always point. And I just thought that was really funny. That reminded me of that.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me right now? Because I can't tell if you're talking to me if you don't point your finger, right?
He also talks about versatility. yeah, you can cry and be angry and yell, but do you have the comedic timing? Can you tell a good joke? Can you be funny? And range is really, really important.
Not every actor is good at everything, and you can't just sub someone in for one scene. So it's no small feat when someone is able to check every box.
As he was talking about the Spider-Man thing, Tobey Maguire plays a great Peter Parker, but not a good Spider-Man.
Look at little Goblin Jr.
His words, not mine.
I had always thought Tobey was really good in these movies, but watching it now I realize, no, he's really good at playing Peter Parker. He's not very good at playing Spider-Man. The dude...
I've only seen one Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I'm just weirded out that they kissed at a graveyard.
That's the last topic I want to touch on, is this ongoing debate about the validity of method acting.
Method acting. I really agree with what Robert Pattinson said about method acting.
I always say about people who do method acting, you only ever see people doing the method when they're playing an
I
asshole.
think that people only do it when they're like playing a really bad guy. I want to see someone who plays like a My Little Pony character just walk everywhere on all fours and prioritize friendship. Checkmate. Like, I have never heard of like a method actor sending their castmates like muffin baskets or doing random acts of kindness. Instead, we get Jared Leto, who sent condoms to his castmates and like dead animals.
Everyone knows that story of him like sending like dead rats and shit when he was filming Suicide Squad because he's the Joker, baby. Why so serious? I'm the Joker, baby. Yeah.
Send used condoms to.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah, he sent used condoms, sticky Playboy magazines.
I mean, the Joker is somebody who doesn't really respect things like personal space or boundaries.
Not too great, but you know what? I'm living, I'm laughing, I'm loving. Some actors do a great job with method acting, and the product is awesome, but if the ends don't justify the means, then is it like really worth it?
So what was all the method acting for? Finding a new method to be shitty? Good job, Jared, you did it. Good job, Jared Leto.
I don't actually know if I'm qualified to talk about this, because
Look, this is all just my opinion. I'm not a trained actor by any means.
I'm only a sophomore. It's been my second year here. I'm just doing my best. Like, only a few years ago, I was like this.
You know what? I find that if you lower your expectations in life, you avoid a lot of disappointment.
Indeed, extraordinary. Did she miss the train? That's what I reckon she is. Mrs. Owen isn't the least like that.
Perhaps it was her husband's fault.
She hasn't got a husband.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for hanging out. Just take care of yourself. I don't know what to do now. Commentary? I think that's it. So, yeah. Bye.